Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to be standing in front of you. I can definitely feel the energy in the room and the growth since the last roundtable meeting. It's also very exciting to see so many of you standing here till the very last presentation. After all of these fantastic applications and presentations we have seen, it's a tall order for me to give you the last presentation, but I hope I'll make it worthwhile for you. Okay, so I'm Nikolai Schwertner. I'm the founder and chief technology officer of Medaptech. We have been around since the very beginnings of SMART, and we have been involved in the evolution of SMART and then consequently SMART on FHIR from the very early days. Well, one can say it's still early days, but believe me, we have come a long way. We produced a number of the smart medical applications, which you might have seen in the Smart App Gallery. Actually, we also built the first version of the Smart App Gallery, blood pressure percentiles, growth charts, also CleanDat, the rheumatology application, Duke Pillbox. These are some of the applications we have been involved into. So today, I'd like to show you two of our new applications. We actually have a number of new applications which we have been working on, which we'll be bringing to you via the app stores of Epic, Cerner, Allscripts, Athena Health. Okay, so the first application which I'd like to show you, I think there is some clipping here on the slide, so excuse me for that, I'll just talk through that. So it's the procedural consent application. The problem which we are looking to solve is across health systems, we have noticed that the consenting of patients before surgery or procedures varies widely. The forms vary widely. Typically, what you see is a form with a big blank space left in the middle, and then the surgeon chicken scratches maybe a list of risks which he feels are appropriate for the procedure. Then the patient is consented, and off he goes to surgery. We think we can improve on that process, and we are offering a solution which we think is quite a bit of a significant improvement. Our smart application is helping reduce malpractice liability. It follows national standard of care, reduces risk. We have collected. We have collected a number of a very extensive list of common procedures which are performed and the risks which are associated with them based on consensus by leading hospitals and clinicians. The application also offers these consents in a number of languages, a growing list of languages, and it is going to help you satisfy the macro clinical practice improvement activity and get a little bit more money from CMS into your healthcare system. Actually, I have a couple of slides here showing the application, but I think what I'll try to do instead is to show you the application in action. Okay, so it's a Smart on FHIR application. I've already authenticated, but I'll reload the application just in case my token has expired in the meanwhile. Okay, all right, so here is the application. So it's a standard consent form. You can select a patient or search for a patient. So that was interesting. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, we pick Daniel Adams. If you launch the application in the context of your EHR, maybe you already have the context of the patient, so that will be pre-populated for you. In this case, I don't, so I'll select the patient, and then we can select a procedure. We have a very extensive list of many procedures. So I'll just try some, for example, hernia. Okay, so here are some. I'll just pick one and then select the site for the patient. So maybe it's not applicable. And right in here, you'll see the list of risks which correspond to this procedure, pre-populating the form. If you'd like, you can add your own. You can certainly extend the list as you like. And then we fill the name of the clinician, or that comes from the EHR. Dr. House, perhaps. How about that? And then we can actually go to, we can explain the risks to the patient, and then we can go to actually the signing process. On a touch device, it works best. This mouse is a little jumpy. I'll just try to chicken scratch something here. For example, there we go. Okay, and then we can actually introduce some variations to the form. For example, guardian. If we click the guardian surrogate checkbox, then it will be a guardian who has consented on behalf of the patient. And then we can actually save the form, which will go directly in the HR as a document. The form can be translated in a number of languages. We, for example, I know if German is the best language, but I'll pick German, for example. And then the whole form is now available in German, so we can work with a German-speaking patient. The data in the form is preserved in a database, so it's searchable. At a later point, there is an administrative interface where we can see the forms which have been completed for the institution. The form is customizable. You can put the logo of your institution. You can customize the list of risks for your institution, and the form is also stored as well in persistent formats such as PDF and JPEG, so that there is no question about the content being altered. Of course, behind this system, there is an engine which models those forms and the various language representations and the versioning. As we, maybe improve the forms, there will be maybe version 2, but that doesn't mean that the forms which already have been signed need to change in any way. So I will try to generate a PDF, see what will happen. I don't know if you... Okay, well, there we go. It actually opens up, and now the form is presented in PDF format. Okay, so we think this is a nice little, very useful application, which will definitely, hopefully, we hope will improve the standard of care at your health system and across the health systems. Most of the applications which we develop are very targeted. We like to solve very specific problems and add value on top of electronic health records systems. Okay, so let's move on to the second application. By the way, if you're voting, you guys will be voting. We all will be voting at the end for best application. Just pick the better one of the two, please. Whichever one you like. Okay, so pediatric blood pressure percentiles. So this is an application which we have developed a number of years back at Boston Children's Hospital. So you might have seen it already. It's in use at Boston Children's Hospital, Duke, Intermountain, in a number of healthcare systems out there. It's a pediatric application which deals with detection of hypertension in children. The fact is 75% of pediatric hypertension and 90% of prehypertension goes undetected across the health system because in children you need to normalize the blood pressure based on age, height, and gender in order to interpret it, to get to percentiles, and that requires the use of nomograms, and busy clinicians just don't have time for that unless they have a very specific reason to look into the specific patient's case. So the blood pressure percentiles application directly tackles this problem by normalizing the blood pressure from the EHR, plotting it on the screen, and giving the clinician useful tools to look through the data, and also to show it to the patient and have a good conversation with the patient about their improvement and how the treatment is maybe helping them get better. Okay, so the first version of the application, which has now been around for 7 or 8 years, looks something like that. So I was the primary developer on that. It's pretty good, but sort of has outlived its time. It's still available as free open source if you have the resources to take it into your health system. Maybe you need to do some fixes or, bring it in, but, it is available still. But it needed to be overhauled, especially the the code base. We need to introduce some tests, some unit tests to make sure that we can test the code, and as we introduce improvements, we can always rerun the tests and make sure everything is perfect and verifiable. Also, the user interface is dated, it does not scale, it does not resize. Also, we have gotten a number of suggestions that this black is kind of very retro and does not match the current design styles. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. So anyways, so we took all these suggestions and we overhauled the application, completely grounds up rewrite of the application. Now it looks like that with Material UI. It's responsive, it works on touch devices. We have introduced a number of subtle improvements into the application. Let me actually demo it for you. Okay, so this is the application, the new version. There is the short-term view, which shows the last 3 encounters of the patient, and we can walk through that. The legend to help us interpret. There is a help screen. The application is broken into a couple different views. The long-term view is probably the one a clinician would be looking most often onto to look the longitudinal trends on the patient. We can now gesture and zoom into specific time horizons on the data and inspect that. There are filters which we can apply. For example, maybe we're interested only in machine-based readings or auscultation readings. For example, actually, let me reset that. There is the table view where we can, for data nerds like myself, that's beautiful. We can just go straight to the data, skip the beautiful graphics, and look at how the patient is doing over time. And then there is this calculator, which is handy for doing what if scenarios to see what would happen if we lower the blood pressure of the patient just a little bit, what is the percentile going to be, etc. So this application is we're in the process of actually publishing it in app stores. So it will be available very soon. Actually, already at Boston Children's, it's being used at Boston Children's in the new version of Cerner, which is currently being rolled out at Boston Children's. And we hope that you'll be able, that it will add value to your health system. The new version, it comes with support, so we're here to answer questions, help you integrate it, support it. Of course, since it's a smart application, the integration should be, technically speaking, as simple as it gets in this day and age, but we hope that over time, with technology, we'll be able to improve that even further. Okay. So we have quite a bit of experience in developing smart applications, clinical decision support tools with the new CDS hooks technology. We love to partner. If you have any ideas and you need technical help, we're here to help. So please give me a call. I'll be happy to talk to you. And thank you very much for your time. And I look forward to the awards now.